So if it's just talking about driving and it doesn't directly talk about social media and technology, what is driving? What is a car? It is technology. You can apply the same ideas to one piece of technology to all pieces of technology. If children are immature with a vehicle, are they also immature with their phone? Are they impulsive with their phone? Do you often post things that you later regret? Are there things that you post or that you send someone that you should later regret? Okay. And some of you may not. I'm just giving it as an example. Okay. So let's look at focus on lawmakers. Everyone there with me? And that's still on the first page? 340 or 249. Focus on lawmakers. But those in a position to raise the driving age, legislators in the states throughout the USA, have mostly refused to do so. Adrian Mandel, a Maryland state legislator, has tried since 1997 to pass tougher teen driving laws. Even lawmakers who recognize that a higher driving age could save lives, Mandel notes, resist the notion of having to drive their 16-year-olds to after-school activities that the teens could drive to themselves. Notice the parents are saying what? They want their kids to be able to drive because it's not about lazy. They can't always do it. It's way more convenient if a 16-year-old can drive themselves than them having to do so. Okay? I know that I would not have been able to play high school sports had I not decided to ride my bike the 6 miles, 7 miles to school and back. Until I turned 16, I was able to 4-mile vehicle. That's just the way it was. And so I took that upon myself and I rode a mountain bike both ways. What's that? 15 and a half? 15. Correct. But then you have restrictions put on you and you have to log so many hours, but you also don't have to. Like, it's not a requirement. You have to drive a certain amount of hours, but you don't have to get your driver's license at 15. You can get it whenever you want to. You just have to log that time before you can get your license. Okay, other delegates said, what are you doing? You're going to make me drive my kids to the movies on Friday night for another 6 months, Mandel says. Parents are talking about inconvenience, and I'm talking about saving lives. Yet the USA Today poll found that among the general public, majorities in both suburbs, 65%, and urban areas, 60%, favor licensing ages above 16. With a smaller percentage in rural areas, 54% favor raising the driving age. Experts say it's striking that majority support exists even there, considering that teens on farms often start driving very young to help with workloads. For those who oppose raising the minimum age, their argument is often this: responsible teen drivers shouldn't be punished for the mistakes of the small fraction who cause deadly crashes. Remember, 2 teens die every 2 minutes. Is that what it said? Every day. 2 teens die every day in an accident cause, but it's just a few, is what this is saying. Okay. If you do the math, that's what, 730 teens, 16 or older, that die in a fatal car crash.
That's not a lot compared to if you talk about everyone doing crashes.
Okay. That's not a bad way to look at it. It's not. It's a good way to look at the statistics. Okay. Now, what if it's one of your siblings? It would be I'm sure that he. That's okay. For those who oppose raising the let's move on. For those who oppose raising the minimum age, their argument is often the debate stirs images of reckless teens drag racing or driving drunk, but such flagrant misdeeds account for only a small portion of the fatal accidents of 16-year-old drivers. Only about 10% of the 16-year-old drivers killed in 2003 had blood alcohol concentration of 0.1 or higher, compared with 43% of 20 to 49-year-old drivers killed, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Instead, most fatal crashes with 16-year-old drivers, 77%, involve driver errors, especially the kind most common among novices. Examples: speeding, overcorrecting after veering off the road, and losing control when facing a roadway obstacle that a more mature driver would be likely to handle safely. That's the highest percentage of error for any age group. For years, researchers suspected that inexperience, the bane of any new driver, was mostly to blame for deadly crashes involving teens. When trouble arose, the theory went, the young driver simply made the wrong move. But in recent years, safety researchers have noticed a pattern emerge, one that seems to stem more from immaturity than from inexperience. Skills are a minor factor in most cases, says Alan Williams, former chief scientist at the Insurance Institute. It's really attitudes and emotions. So why are teens making mistakes, according to this article? Emotions and attitudes, which come from being what? Being immature. Okay. So this article is saying that immaturity is the cause of what might be leading to more accidents. All right. Can immaturity lead to the misuse of technology? Yes. Okay. That's the tie-in here. If your brain is too immature to handle a big vehicle like that, how many of you think that there is no harm done by this little device in your hand? How many honestly think that this is a harmless device? Like there is no harm caused by this. Okay? And it's fine to have that opinion. I'm not going to correct that at this moment. Okay? Just remember your behavior, if it maps those three things right there, being respectful, responsible, and positive, it's more likely that it won't. Okay? Right, but I'm saying phone, but that also ties into computers. So you never get on a game and get angry and streaming with someone and maybe, I don't know, getting upset and using language that might be different than you normally would use with someone online. Or do you get upset with someone else around you because things aren't going the way? Or does it distract you from doing what you should be doing with your time while you're in school?
I mean, like anything really bad.
Oh, so you get to gauge what's bad and good. Okay, so what's really, really bad? Okay. What? But you're not saying what is bad. What's bad? Agreed. Bad. Okay. Cyberbullying's bad. Okay, I'm not saying the game being stupid. I'm saying how do you treat others that are on the game with you? Because interesting enough, Christian brought up cyberbullying. Does that happen often when you're online gaming? It's a huge culture. Am I wrong? Like my son doesn't get to do online gaming because he is not emotionally prepared for it. Bruce, am I right in saying that a 9-year-old probably shouldn't be on Fortnite online gaming? Okay. All right. So we want to gauge, hold on just a minute. I know you guys want to chat for a minute, Connie, but you've got to be careful what you see as immature and what you don't see as immature. Okay. That's the same debate that the parents are having about driving. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys some time. We're not going to finish this article today. So that also means you should save some space for evidence for later on in the article. But you should have your Chromebook open working on finding evidence.